In English, we have subject pronouns like I or we or you or he or they in the plural, and we have counterpart object pronouns like me or us, or we have counterpart pronouns like him or them, but we do tend to use the same one for second person either way. In Old English, there was a difference. And we also have different pronouns for possessive. For example, mine or ours, and so on. And in Hebrew, we have similar situation. Previously, we've talked about some of the subject pronouns in Hebrew, like anochi. But now we're going to focus on pronominal suffixes, and we'll have pronominal suffixes are attached directly to verbs in the case of direct objects, or there's other ways to do it. So we're going to have direct objects will be attached, and we'll also have possessive words attached to nouns and the like. So in Hebrew, same sort of circumstances, but the only standalone pronouns in Hebrew are the subject. Now we're going to look at attached pronouns that have different functions in the sentence. So here's a list on the left of the subject pronouns. We've already gone over those. And then the pronominal suffixes, your basic list are here, and I would suggest very strongly that you become familiar with these different endings that are listed here. And so here you have of me, of you, of him, of her, of us, of you, of them, of them. So we have all these different endings depending on first, second, third person, and we also have a difference between singular and plural. And it's important for us to become familiar with these. I don't know if you have to out and out memorize them, but you should become very familiar with them and work hard to get them early on because they're very, very common in Hebrew. Now, the other thing that you'll notice in a few cases is that there's some similarity between some of these. So, for example, you have the similar vowel sound for the second person singular subject and object pronouns, and you also have similar ending, the E ending. Not quite as much similarity here with the third person singular, but some, but you can see nachnu and nu, and then you have the mem and noon ending similarities for the second person plural, and the third person plural also some similarities as well. So in other words, become familiar as soon as you can with these pronominal suffixes, and that will complement what you already know from the subject pronouns. Now, in addition to having the pronouns themselves be singular or plural, the words which they're attached to in the case of nouns can be singular or plural. And what you can see is there's a great similarity between them, but you can tell that the nouns are plural, especially because of the use of yod again and again to attach all of these endings to the noun. So that's a clue that it's a plural noun, and you can see real familiar tsere yod. So you have almost the constructed form of the noun and the pronoun attached right to it. So you should become very familiar with all of these so you can distinguish, and it won't be very hard, but you'll be able to distinguish between exactly what pronoun it is and the singular and plural form of the noun. Here's an example of a verse with a good number of pronouns and pronominal suffixes. Vatomer Ruth, al tifkei vi le'azavech le'shuv me'acharayich ki el asher telachi elech uvasher telini elin amech ami belohayik Elohai. Let's begin with the translation. And Ruth said, "May you not urge me to abandon you, to turn back from after you. For to where you go, I go, and to where you lodge, I lodge. Your people, my people, and your God, my God." This verse provides us with a number of really good examples. Now, we haven't learned the verbs yet, and we won't for a while, but here you'll notice the verbs have the subject built right in. You go, I go, you lodge, I lodge. And so you can see the similarity and the contrast. So it's the same verbs, just with different subject pronouns built in. And we'll get to that soon enough. There are a good number of pronominal suffixes here. Notice, do not urge me do not urge me to abandon you from following after you, second person, feminine singular. Then you have your people, my people, your God, my God. Notice a bunch of these pronominal suffixes then are used in a possessive way. Your people, my people. Your God, my God. That's very typical of how a pronominal suffix would be used. And here the pronominal suffix is attached to a preposition as a way of almost using it as a direct object. And of course, Ruth is using this possessiveness in an oath, and this is really her conversion to the covenantal God of Israel. Here's another passage with some pronominal suffixes. Halo et asher yorishecha kamosh elochecha oto tirash. Va'et kol asher torish Hashem Eloheinu mipanenu oto nirash. And this is in a form of a negative question, rhetorical question. Is not that which Chemosh, your God, dispossesses for you, it you will possess, and all which the Lord, our God, has dispossessed before us, it we will possess. Now here you'll notice there's pronominal suffix on a verb, has given as possession for you, second person, masculine, singular. And then notice again, Chemosh, your God. Again, here's the pronoun, which is second person, masculine, singular, your God. But notice the attachment here is the standard. It's a pluralized form of a word, Elohim. And so it's Elohecha, your God. Now again, this is Chemosh, so it's singular, a particular God, but just like Israel's God, where we have the form Eloheinu, Notice the A ending, because it's a plural form of a word, but it's ours, first person, common, plural, our God, Hashem. Very similarly, the same word, Elohim, is used in the construct form with second person masculine singular, first person common plural, to refer to two different gods. The God of Israel, who is there here in Jephthah's words, their patron deity, I suppose, and Chemosh, the patron deity or god of the Moabites. And there's just a couple of other, this is a definite direct object marker here, et. But when we put on a third person masculine singular pronominal suffix, it changes to oto. That's its normal form there. And so this is it. It's used of the neuter to refer to that which the Lord is giving them to possess. We will possess it. And again, the interesting thing is the Lord drove them out from before us, which is kind of an interesting idea here. So it's the Lord does it, but he does it instrumentally by driving out the Canaanites from before the Israelites. So it's us, it's first person, common, plural. So our God did that for us. He gave it to us, and so then we will possess it.